How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Scream 5, and I'm going to be talking about why I think it's the worst Scream film. So be sure to hit the like button, comment down below as always, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Um, so we're going to be talking about obviously Scream 5 again and why I think Scream 5 is by far the worst in the franchise. Um, and again, there's a lot of people out there that are that love it out. And it's not. I'm not saying it's a terrible film, but it's certainly not a great film. You know what I mean? Like it's a good film, but it's not a perfect film. You know what I mean? So I think there is. I mean, there's some great moments in it, but it's certainly not. I don't know. I just don't really like that. I don't think the film is. I think it's far from great. Personally, it's just not a great film in my opinion. I mean, the only problem that I have is that they didn't add any chase scenes, which that's probably the number one like issue. But behind like aside from all that, I think it's an overall great film. It's a decent film. It's not bad at all. I don't think. Well, it is bad, but it's not. I'm not gonna say it's terrible though. You know what I mean? Because there's movies out there that that are worse than this. Um, so I would just say it's kind of like an average film. I would say. Um, so that's just my opinion on that. And also, too, there is also okay. The only problem, the number one problem that I have with Scream 5 is that there was no chase scenes, there was no character development or any of that, right? Those are my only problems with it. Other than that, it's a good film, and I mean, it's not a good film. I mean, it's obviously still bad. I got to basically force myself to watch it, but overall, I mean, and then the other thing too is like Dewey's death. Dewey's death was probably another reasoning why I didn't like it so much, why I felt like it was, why it was stupid, in a lot of ways. Um, that's just my honest opinion on that. Like I really like Dewey. I like this character a lot, and I just don't feel like they killed him off in the proper way. I feel like they should have did it in a lot better, in a better manner than what they did. Like, but I'm not gonna complain too much. I mean, it is a bad movie, and of course, if you guys don't know, it is last on my list. Like, um, for the worst Scream movies, for one of the worst Scream movies, or the worst. I mean, so it is on it is last on my rankings, and so I go what? So I go Scream 1996, Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 4, Scream 6, and then Scream 5. So, and I put Scream 6 in front of Scream 5 because, Scream 6 is, like better. They did a better job. They added chase scenes again, you know, and something that they didn't add in, Scream, um, something that they didn't add in Scream 5, so they basically, made up for it, if you know what I mean. So, it's definitely a great film. I mean, it's a decent film, but it's certainly not my favorite. Like it's by far, in my opinion, the worst. And nobody's gonna change my mind on that. Like, I really believe that it is the worst. It's definitely the worst Scream movie I've ever watched, like by far. If you compare it to like Scream 4, like Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 1996, it's nothing like it. Just the style of film, it's just different. And of course, it's not Wes Craven no more, so of course it's going to be a little different. But yeah, it's just not really. I don't know. It's just not really as good anymore. It just isn't. It's just not as good as the way it used to be. Like, personally, that's just my opinion on that. So I truly believe that Scream 5, is by far the worst. Again, this bad character development, no chase scenes. Dewey's death was probably probably the worst thing about it, like by far. And that's not even really debatable. So that's just my opinion on that. That's my honest opinion. Like, I think it's by far the worst in the franchise. And it's definitely not. It's definitely always going to be last on my list. Even when Scream 7 comes out, which Scream 7 we probably won't get that until, I would say we probably won't get Scream 7 until 2025, 2026, which it depends on if it's delayed. But when that movie comes out and that turns out to be, I think that movie's going to be in front of Scream 5, and possibly even in front of 6. So, and Scream 5 is going to, stay last, in my opinion. It just is. It's going to stay last because, again, it's just not, I mean, it's a good film, but it's not a great film. You know what I mean? It's, okay, this is the way I'm going to put it. So it's not like a bad film or anything like that, but it isn't a great film. So it's a film that basically it's not as rewatchable as the other ones to me, compared to Wes Craven's versions. I don't think they're as rewatchable. So that's basically the reason why. That's the main reason why I don't like I'm not gonna say I don't like Scream 5. I mean, I like it, but I have to force myself to watch it. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those movies that you just have to, you got to force yourself to watch it, and you can't. It's not like the other 4 Scream films, where you can, go back and watch them, and you know, you can go back and watch them, and those films are rewatchable, But the rewatchability of Scream 5 is really low for me. Like, it's not, the rewatchability is low. I can't rewatch it. I can't, I mean, okay, I could rewatch it if I'm doing like a marathon or something, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's basically like my only problem with it. Like, the only way that I'm able to rewatch it is if I'm doing like a marathon, because of course when you're doing a marathon you can't skip it, right? I mean, you got to watch them all. So I mean, that's really the only way that I'll watch Scream 5. But other than that, Scream 5 to me is just, and of course, you guys know I got it in DVD. That's because I want to collect all the Scream films, though, and you don't have all the films, then your collection basically isn't complete. So that's just basically my take on that. So yeah, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as always, and comment down below as well, because I just want to hear from you guys in the comment section of the video. I just want to I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Scream 5. Like, is Scream 5 by far the worst in the franchise? Because I definitely think it is. And I think Scream 6 is right in front of it. I have Scream 6 personally right in front of it because it's, I don't know, it just seems like it's a better film, So yeah, I got Scream 6 right in front of it, and then obviously I got Scream 4. So I got Scream 1996, Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 4, and then Scream 5. So Scream 5 is still on my last, on my rankings. Which to me that's not bad at all. That really isn't that bad if you really think about it. I mean, it is last, and Scream 6. Of course, it's almost last. It's not really that bad of a film, though. I mean, it's not really that terrible. It's not like, at least it's in front of Scream 5. So that's just my opinion on it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. What do you guys think about Scream 5? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Because I definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say I hate it or anything, because it's certainly a good film, but it's certainly not like the rewatchability of it. It's not as high as the other Scream films. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I hate it, or that it's like the worst of the worst. Because there's been way worse movies out there. But I'm also not going to sit there and say that it's a good film, because it certainly isn't a good film. The rewatchability is not up there. It's just not. It doesn't compare to the other 4 Scream films. So I just think personally that I think that Scream 5 is the worst. Again, Dewey's death, which you guys know. Excuse me, I had a yawn there. You guys know, Dewey's death is the biggest problem that I have with Scream 5. And you guys know, like, the execution of it, everything, just the execution, just the way it was done is just my number one problem with it. Just my number one problem personally. But that's just me personally. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Is Scream 5 the worst in the franchise, or is it? Because there is a lot of people out there, I know, like Killjoy Jake and whatnot. I know that he likes Scream 5, and there's a lot of people that do. There's a lot of people that believe that this film is an underrated film, which I understand, like, why people feel like that, why people feel like it is, but at the same time, I don't. And a lot of people say, well, it's the best, probably the best. Excuse me, guys, I had to yawn again. It's probably the best. People say it's the best, like, Scream film probably since Scream 2. And I'm just like, people have their own opinions, of course. I ain't gonna sit here and say that, that's the case at all, because it certainly, I don't think it is. I don't think it's better than Scream 2. I don't think it's better than Scream 3. There's a lot of people out there that say that it's better than Scream 3, but I certainly don't think that it's better than Scream 3. That's just my honest opinion on that. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's better than Scream 3. I don't think it's better than any of Wes Craven's Scream films. That's just my opinion on that. Like, it's a good film. It's a good film and all, but it's not a perfect film. It's definitely not a great one. And that's why it's always ranked last on my list. In terms of Scream films, that's why it's always ranked last. So anyways, guys, comment down below. Be sure to hit the like button. and subscribe button as always. And be sure to, again, comment down below. Give me your guys' thoughts. You know, I want to hear you guys' thoughts about Scream 5. I want to hear you guys' thoughts just about this film in general. It is the last, to me, it's the last like great Scream film. Personally, that's just my honest opinion. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. And until the next one, peace out, y'all.